first things first. I've been on TikTok a lot more as of like the past week or so because the more shorts that I've decided to record. It's funny because I did a stream like this week where I've just done nothing but clip farming, and when I talked to my editor, I was like, okay, TikTok's gonna be a much bigger emphasis this time around, I'm just now realizing first of all, the beautiful VTubers that I've come across on my For You page. There are some absolutely beautiful models. And there's been a lot of wholesome content. There's been a lot of animal content. Some of which has been my favorite, to say the least, Sumage. And
okay, yeah.
Everything has just been so... I can see the brain rot. I can immediately see the brain rot, first of all. But
this TikTok is so brain rot. it's all brain rot.
But let me explain though. There's this one TikTok that I came across today, and it was along the lines of, if you know who John Lennon is, you are now officially an unk. And then I come across a comment that says, who the fuck is John Lennon? I was so pissed off that, like, I was, this was like a TikTok that has like 1 million likes and like 7,000 comments. That's fine. That's completely fine. But it just pisses me off even more because in this profile picture, I don't remember who it was, but this person looks like they were 30 years old. How are you gonna fucking tell me that you are older than me and you do not know who quite possibly the most, number one, influential, most famous of the last 50, 60 years or so, you do not know who John Lennon is? I wanted to scream in my car. I wanted to fucking rage at this woman. But I kept my cool.
That's what it is.
I kept my cool. And then I ate the rest of my garlic parm chicken nuggets from Wendy's. That's all. That's all. But it really does just piss me the fuck off how people can have the gall to just exclaim that they don't know someone of that caliber, like, let alone even heard of them. Like, there were other TikTok
you Google.
At the very least.
At the very least, you Google.
Yeah, it's like, it just makes me, like, it loses my faith in humanity sometimes, because there were other comments saying like, oh, I'm 11 and I know who John Lennon is. Oh, I'm 7 years old and I know who John Lennon is. Come on, how do you not know that? And it's like, you have better intelligence, I get that, but you look like you're 30, dog. You're an ancient being of society, and you don't know who another fellow ancient being of society is. Come on. I mean, that's putting it in the vaguest terms possible. But I just needed to rage. I really just needed to rage. Like, this really pissed me off beyond all senses of belief.
I can't. That's yeah. TikTok brain rot, am I right?
It's really funny though. How many times have you been on TikTok in the last week or so?
0. I don't go on TikTok.
I'm so happy for you, Chief. I really am happy for you. And I'm just gonna say, if Dylan ever comes in, he better clip the fuck out of this stream, because I have a lot of rants that I want to go on to today. But I think some, and I say this with emphasis, some of the brain rot has kind of calmed down as of late. I don't know if it's because of my For You page being tuned the way it is. Oh, excuse me. But I've been seeing a lot less of Gyat, Phantom Tax, the Rizzler, like all of that stuff. It's kind of gone down a lot as of late. Yeah, I don't know if it's the algorithm finally filtering it out. But
They finally figured out that you don't speak like a 12-year-old.
right? I'm only 22, dog.
That's crazy.
But
For real, Ohio Sigma Riz.
all right, you're gonna piss me the fuck off. But yeah, welcome to the Degenerate Season podcast. My name is Indico. My co-host is Sumage. This is our quote-unquote first episode.
First episode. It's good to be here.
Yeah, today we're gonna be talking about our pet peeves in anime, like tropes that we have come to grown to hate. Or is that how you say it? Is it grow? Oh, it's just grown. It's just grown to hate. And we're also going to be talking about the current set list of summer 2024 and some of the shows that we've been watching for like over the past, I'm losing my fucking train of thought here. Some of the spring 2024 shows and the summer 2024
And
shows
it's
as
a
well.
new season, baby. We have like what, 25 shows to
Dog.
check out this summer.
I can officially say that I'm watching more shows than shows that I'm not. Like that's how much anime I've been watching this
Oh,
season.
bloody hell.
I know. Like I could probably count on my hand the shows that I'm not watching out of like the 40 some odd shows that I am. But I kind of want to save that for last.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to go into some of the tropes that I've kind of come to grown to hate over the past, some odd years that I've been watching anime. But Sumage, I want to start with you though. If there's a trope that you've come to hate over the past couple of seasons or so, like hit me with what you think might be one of the worst and why.
One of the worst tropes.
One or two. I have like three, but what are some of yours?
I mean, do I have to say isekai?
Okay, so
Reincarnation.
isekai itself is the genre. It's not necessarily a trope, but there are tropes of isekai that you can absolutely go off of.
Reincarnation trope where it's not needed.
Why?
Because you have this perfectly good fantasy story. That would be just a perfectly good fantasy story, but no, you have to have someone who was a NEET and they die and they reincarnate into that world.
I kind of feel like that you're trying to call out Mushoku Tensei here, or Kazuma.
Well, no, that's actually a good show though. I'm talking about the trash isekai.
But like in that regard, is it more so the fact that it's like overabundant, or is it something else?
No, it's the fact that it's an episode one thing, but Mushoku Tensei, that obviously references back to his previous life.
Right.
But it's an episode one thing for most of them, and then the reincarnation doesn't matter. They're just an OP character. What happened before never mattered.
Okay.
It's like you might as well just have written the fantasy in the first place, rather than have this guy start in Japan and then die, have it be a thing for half an episode, and then forget about it for the next 12.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because there's an episode, there was a show that just aired last night for the first time. It's called Isekai Shikaku. And like it's mainly about this great writer who his like wife or spouse or something. They decide that the world is gone to shit and they want to leave it through double suicide, right? And everything is so grim around him, and this is the happiest moment of his life. He is about to commit double suicide by jumping into a river that he's going to drown in. Except the fact that a fucking truck, on purpose by the way, decides, hey, here I am, I'm going to kill you now. And it's like, like 10 minutes later, you're already in the other world. There's already like a goddess that explains the world around them. And I shit you not, it's so fucking meta that she literally says, hey, you were killed by a truck, right? And he's like, yeah, I was. What about it? And she was like, then you were chosen because you were chosen by this otherworld selection truck. It's so meta that the truck has a canon reason and a canon name. Like, he didn't even die the way he wanted to, but it was because of Truck-kun, aka Otherworld Selection Truck.
Our savior.
And like, I fucking lost it because I was trying to kind of take it seriously, but once she said that, I lost it. I actually fucking lost it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But I get what you mean though. Cause the reincarnation trope is like, even though it's abundant, it's more so the fact that there's only so many times that you can originally create an idea of like a unique isekai or a reincarnation. But
yeah.
But like, I also get what you mean in the fact that the aspect of going to another world instead of dying to another world has lost its flavor immensely. It's like shit like Inuyasha. That kind of factor has lost all of its luster in that, like, it's not really exploring.
Exactly.
It's just forced, like, genre shit. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah. It's like, I'm gonna write this story. Oh, I need not a catch-22. It's like, oh, I need something to draw the readers in. I'm gonna make this guy reincarnate into this world. That's like every single light novelist ever.
I mean, it's... Okay, so... When you say that, another trope that I haven't even written this trope down, but you brought it up, so I have to mention it. It's, why the hell do light novelist authors, sorry, always explain the synopsis in their own titles?
Oh my god.
Like
the super long anime titles that come from these super long light novel adaptations.
Yeah, remember the short? Remember the short that we created when we were talking about the longest anime title ever?
I do.
Yeah. Apparently there was a light novel title that has multiple sentences, multiple pages, and it takes up the entire book. I'm not completely positive on this, but I think the title...
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Yeah, it's
88 pages long.
It's mad. It is just the whole book.
It actually is! At that point, does the title become the story, or is there no title to the title?
There is the title. Nah, because it's a book, but you only need to read the title to get the whole story.
Then how big would the book have to be if the title is that big? Is it wide or is it long?
It's 80 pages long, and then you have 80 pages worth of title page.
Like
a 160-page book.
Like, don't get me wrong, I completely forgot the synopsis, but the title itself was so long that it was like not even necessary to even remember the synopsis in the first place. It was that meta. It's so meta defining. It actually pisses me off to no end.
That is meta defining. Oh my god.
Dog, another trope that I've come to despise recently is the overabundance of fantasy settings in isekai. But
okay,
it's more so the fact that even though it may be an isekai, even though it might not always be an isekai, it's always like a fantasy setting where I fucking despise the overabundance of medieval environments. Like,
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
it's like
Every show.
fantasy is whatever you can make of it, right? Right?
Yeah.
So why not? Like, there's so much medieval settings that it's basically seemingly pushed out, where there's no sci-fi fantasy, there's no modern fantasy. Like, the only one that comes to mind of something along those lines that I'm describing is Saga of Tanya the Evil. It's like
Saga of Tanya the Evil. I've not seen that one.
I mean, Saga of Tanya the Evil is an isekai, all things considered. Because it's not really a spoiler because it is an isekai. The guy fucking dies by getting a train ran on him. And I'm not even kidding when I say that. Like, a train literally runs into him. And then it turns into this World War I setting mixed with magic and like hoverboard surfboards or something. And I wish I was joking, but I'm not. And then this fucking lunatic psychopath of a fucking reincarnation person gets promoted to an army commander at age 9. And this bitch is psychotic as fuck. Like, she actually has the demeanor of a colonel or a drill sergeant that, like, knows how to keep their army in tip-top shape. Like, but it's more so the fact that I would so much rather prefer that kind of isekai trope or environment setting than I would nowadays with medieval and swords and magic and stuff. I want to see something.
Magic, orcs, goblins.
And it pains me to say this. It pains me to say this so much. But something like Sword Art Online Season 2, I want that kind of environment. I really, really do.
Alfheim.
No, not Alfheim.
That the Alfheim arc? No.
No, that's Season 1.
Gungale?
Gungale, exactly.
Gungale, alright, yeah. Yeah, Gungale would actually be a pretty cool fantasy.
Exactly. Do you consider Nier Automata as a fantasy?
I guess it's kind of weird because I feel like fantasy is defined. Because you've got subsections of fantasy, so you've got your sci-fis, and then you've got your like pirate fantasies. But like, it's all fantasy, right?
Yes, but
it's all fantasy technically, but I don't think I would call Nier Automata a fantasy.
I mean, in that case, that would be more postmodern, right? Like really postmodern, like apocalypse type.
Maybe sci-fi, but then that's sci-fi fantasy. So you know, quote.
Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's such a hard line to draw, honestly, because modern fantasy standards have just been all around like D&D and Lord of the Rings and stuff. And
but isn't that the basis?
That might be the basis, but that's not really the definition. If you get it.
Right. Sure. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to pretend that I know the ins and outs of anything fantasy related because, number one, I've never played D&D. Number two, I've watched bits and pieces of the Lord of the Rings saga. Probably that fight with like the big ass orc and like
the orc and the dragon and the wizard.
Yeah, something along those lines. Tolkien was a fucking genius of his time, but I never really bothered. But I just wish that the expanding anime community had the insight to realize that fantasy isn't just that, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
And I want it to really more or less evolve into anything instead of what we have now. You know?
Yeah.
But
maybe you just gotta avoid fantasy shows.
I wish I could. I really wish. Something
Watch the other shows that are still fantasy but not classified as fantasy.
Okay, so it's funny you say that, cause I'm looking at the AnyChart thing right now, and I would consider Tower of God a fantasy off of this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like shit like that where it's not just swords. It's not just, you know, like trees everywhere and it's like the 1500s or something. Like, I don't want to always see knights in shining armor and stuff. Like, I want to see something where like strategy is involved. I want to see something where like character dynamics along the lines of like Rachel, like fucking that big ass alligator or something. Like in like those kinds of environments.
Sure.
But yeah, is there like another trope that you've kind of hated over the past few seasons or so? Because I have like one or two more.
It's not really over the past few seasons, but one that sticks out to me because I see on the list we've got Fairy Tail. And Fairy Tail is renowned for its fake out deaths.
I'm so glad I dropped Fairy Tail. One of the very few shows that I dropped.
Oh, the fake out deaths in Fairy Tail are so insufferable. Like, yeah, I don't really want to go into spoilers, but they make it like this really emotional moment. The character dies. They come back.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
What a surprise! They come back. Holy shit! And it just ruins like the past 30 episodes that you've been watching because it's such a long anime.
How long is it? Like 150 episodes or something?
Something like that, yeah. I'd have to check, but yeah, it's that's my biggest gripe. But I still love Fairy Tail.
Would you consider the power of friendship to be an overused trope or like a trope that you hate?
No.
No?
Fairy Tail is peak mid.
Okay.
My weekly slop baby.
Okay, hold the fuck on. I'm gonna disagree with you there. That title goes to Fire Force.
I haven't seen Fire Force, but I'm sure it's a close fight between the two.
It probably is. Don't get me wrong.
If you want more slop, you watch Fairy Tail. If you want Fire Force, you watch Fire Force.
Listen. Fire Force is like the poster child of terrible fan service. Absolutely god-awful fan service. Okay. And I fucking love fan service. Like,
well, then why didn't you drop Fairy Tail?
Because Urza didn't show up until episode 5, and I was pissed about that. I wanted her episode 1, and she was the only one that could keep my attention.
We love Urza.
Kill me. Actually, just fucking kill me. I love a woman that'll just fucking kill me.
Bad.
Okay, but going away from the isekai tropes and genres and stuff.
Yeah.
I fucking hate middle schoolers.
Middle schoolers?
Yes, and I'll explain why. Because
she didn't like Windbreaker then.
Those aren't middle schoolers.
Are they not?
No, they're high schoolers.
High schoolers, got it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you could just chalk it up to like me being unable to relate to like a middle schooler nowadays. Because I've been watching anime for a while, and now I'm 22. But I want to say that when it comes to anime middle schoolers, it's that weird puberty kind of area where, and don't get me wrong, I don't know if this is just me or not, but the way that they display middle schoolers from time to time, it's just cringy. It's really, really just cringy. The way that they act, the way that they talk, and some of the tropes that I've seen in anime. Okay, this is the one thing, the only thing that I hated about Bunny Girl Senpai. Get ready for this. And also spoilers for like episode 3 or something. I don't fucking know. But
it's like 5 years old, so.
I mean, yeah, at this point, you might as well just watch it.
If you ain't watched it.
That's on you at this point. Anyways.
Exactly.
When fucking, I think his name was Sakura? Was it Sakura? The guy? Yeah.
No.
Well, whatever. The main guy. The main guy.
Main character.
The main guy, like, has a realization that in order for Mai to be seen by everybody again, he would have to, you know, proclaim his love or something. Or, like...
Sakuta.
Sakuta, that's right, Sakuta. Yeah. When Sakuta realizes that he knows the way to, you know, fucking see, like, make sure that everybody can see Mai again because of puberty syndrome or something, he fucking goes out to the middle of the track field and screams to the top of his lungs about how he loves fucking Mai, the bunny girl. And it's the cringiest shit I have ever seen. Because you're just...
What do you mean?
I'm an introvert. I don't want to ever embarrass myself. And, like, I can never imagine myself in a spot being able to do that.
Man, everyone loves confession scenes. This scene is up there. I'm saying.
What, in the confession scene department or the cringe department? Because I could go for both.
The confession scene department, it's...
I get it. I really, really do. But it doesn't take away by how cringe it is.
I understand, yeah, secondhand embarrassment.
Because when I think of confession scenes where everybody is paying attention to you, I can only put myself in the POV of the person that's watching the person confessing thinks.
Sure.
Like, I can only imagine what they think. And it's something along the lines of, is this guy really doing this now? When we're trying to learn what the fuck the fucking Revolutionary War of 1776 is? I don't get it. I really don't fucking get it. Every single person in that scene just straight up, like, goes out of their own way to pay attention to him. And I'm thinking in my head, this is what they're getting interrupted for? I don't get it. I really don't get it.
You're stopping school for this? What the hell?
I don't get it! And that's probably why I hate middle schoolers even more. Bringing it like full circle, it's more so along the lines that middle schoolers, the way that they're displayed in anime, don't know that they're being cringe. And in that kind of way is relatable, because I didn't know it was cringe back in my middle school days. But at the same time,
sure,
it's even weirder that middle schoolers in anime are the same exact way. And I hate myself and I hate them for it.
But it's like, it's accurate, right?
That's the problem. I don't know if it's accurate or not, because...
Like because I've never been a Japanese middle schooler.
Don't get me wrong. I completely understand how cringy a middle schooler could be, because I was like that at a time.
Dude, you're not still cringy?
No. Oh, okay, you got me there. Shut up. But this is gonna be for a future episode, but I was one of those middle schoolers back in the day. And
were you a Chunibyo?
I haven't seen that show, by the way, so I don't know what that means. But
okay, well.
But this was like around the time I was like 13, and right around the time of my bar mitzvah. Which is crazy, because who knew a cyber panda could be Jewish? But nevertheless, you know what? No, I'm gonna save that for another episode. But the basically, yeah. I'll go into more detail later on. But all you really need to know is that I tried doing a confession scene in my bar mitzvah. It was terrible.
Dude, oh no. Poor Indico.
And I still go through pains thinking about that day, but and I understand that middle schoolers go through this for the first time, like, love troubles, power-ups or something, but it's like watching them go through it for the first time makes me cringe, and that's why I hate them. So I said that they weren't relatable, but the more that I talk about it, maybe, yeah, they could be a little more relatable than I thought.
They are me for real, for real. Me in a past life for real, for real.
Yeah, don't fucking remind me.
Do you think, because all the middle schoolers basically use brain rot speak. Do you think they're gonna look back like we are looking back now?
I mean, we're the first generation to, be raised on the internet. And
sure. Yeah.
And back in like 2000, I want to say 9 or something, 2010, it wasn't really towards personal memes or personal videos of cringe, but I feel like if the troll face can age well, in our eyes, I feel like some of the other memes can also age well as well.
Ohio?
Okay, definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. But
what the Sigma?
I'm so scared that people are gonna think that Skibbity Toilet was a good meme.
I can't. They probably will. Just like how we think Crazy Frog was a good meme.
In its defense, I really think it is a good meme.
Don't say that.
I really do. I really do. I'm coming to Crazy Frog's defense here and now. It is one of the most influential songs of Gen Z. By far. By fucking far. We're in Gen Alpha, but Gen Z, Crazy Frog was like on the tier of the fucking llamas with hats. It really is. It really is that influential in my eyes.
The unicorn, llamas with hats.
God. It's just
ASDF move. Oh, fucking bangers.
Before we move on, Cyanide and Happiness is like doing like a massive project with so many other creators, and I saw this on Twitter, but like they bought like an ad space where they're grabbing like 100 of like YouTube creators that do the drawing stuff. I don't know, like something along the lines of like Jaden Animations or something would probably be on this like thing, but it's all centered around Cyanide and Happiness. Like there was Meat Canyon as well. There was also like Circle Tunes, I believe.
Yeah.
Like they're being included, and I kind of want to see what the hype is all about there. So I'll be tuning in to if and when that drops. I don't know what it's called though, but Cyanide and Happiness is the host.
Cyanide and Happiness. I see the glorp emote.
Okay, glorp. I hate that I'm talking about this now because this is such a Gen Alpha emote as well.
I don't understand it.
The worst part is that I love it. I fucking love glorp. And I hate that you're looking at my chat to fucking point this out. And I didn't want to acknowledge them.
It's not just me. Tell them to stop spamming glorp.
You know what? I'm just gonna shill my own channel real quick. If you want to go see the glorp emote in all its glory, go to twitch.tv/IndicoKuma, where we're gonna be recording our episodes live on Twitch every 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And go glorp to your heart's content. Speaking of glorp, there's also like all the colors of the rainbow for glorp. There's relorp, yelorp, like for red and yellow. God. There's blorp, there's for blue. And then there's glorp family, where it has all of them.
Oh god.
And then you have the cursed ones, where there's like glorp feet. And then my fucking mod mental is like on the case. I'm telling you, Mental. Get rid of your foot fetish for the love of God. I'm exposing you right the fuck now.
Doesn't stop.
And then there's Glorp Wide as well. I won't go into detail for that one, but emotes have gotten so cursed over the past 2 years. There's Glorp Miku. Oh my god.
They've kind of taken off, especially with the advent of like 7TV. Like, remember before we even had like, even with like BTTV, it was just like Omega LOL. Like, we didn't even have animated emotes. Now every emote is an animated emote.
God bless 7TV. God bless.
We love you, 7TV.
Prage. But I wanted to transition over to the spring and the summer.
Spring and the summer.
Seasons of anime. What were you watching in spring? I completely forgot. If you ever told me.
In spring, I'm going through the list now. Demon Slayer I watched. Kaiju number 8. I didn't watch Konosuba yet.
Really?
Yeah, no, I did.
That was one of my most hyped shows this season.
Been meaning to find the time to watch it in one go. Mushoku Tensei I watched. That was Sage. Windbreaker I watched. Just going through. Yeah, I watched quite a few.
Were there any surprises that you would like to mention?
I didn't expect to enjoy Windbreaker so much.
Really?
Yeah,
Is there any reason?
It was
is there
like
any reason
my
why?
hype. It was my hype show.
Is it just because it was like a better Tokyo Revengers or something?
Yeah, I do want to say that. Windbreaker way better than Tokyo Revengers, even though I've only seen one episode of Tokyo Revengers.
Okay, listen, like I'm definitely cheating a little bit when I say that because I kind of used that quote in one of my videos already. Exclamation mark YouTube, by the way, if you want to go check that out, or no, exclamation mark anime. I'm sorry. What is it about Windbreaker that appeals to you so much? Is it the choreography or is it like something else?
Well, yeah, the choreography. Dude, I like Sakura's character. But all the characters are pretty good, stand out as well. To be fair,
it also pisses me off how tsundere he is. He
love
can't take a compliment for his fucking life if it depended on it. And the worst part is there's not even any romantical elements. So I feel like that tsundere part's being like wasted.
Wasted? Maybe. I don't think so though. But yeah, Windbreaker I really enjoyed. Hibike Euphonium 3.
I've seen a lot of...
After 9 years, the series is completely finished. So if you're looking for a standout musical anime, that's your show.
Okay. And
there's multiple movies and seasons.
There's multiple movies of Hibike Euphonium?
There's one. I want to say there's one. Most of them are recaps. There's 1 or 2 movies of story, and then 3 seasons.
I gotta go check that out sometime. I feel like that's gonna be on the same tier as like Haikyuu for stuff I need to watch, cause it's a Kyoto anime. You can't go wrong. That is true.
Animation.
That is true. You can't. I think I should start my surprises of the season more than anything.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you are done that is with the season.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm gonna list out my disappointments first.
Okay.
I was really disappointed with Re-Monster.
Re-Monster.
Yes. Re-Monster is absolute dog water.
No, how could you say that about meeting an untimely death? Tomokui Kanata is reincarnated
Shut
as
the fuck
Loli
up with the
Goblin.
synopsis. For all the YouTube viewers, this man is just reading the fucking synopsis off of AniChart, and he's just cheating.
No, I'm pulling that off my brain.
But basically, Monster really disappointed me because I later found out that it was the main reason and the main inspiration for ReZero. And I would assume some of the other stories, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like
Interesting.
that's at least what the ReZero author said. Because like certain tropes weren't like popular before that happened. Like Monster was, I would say, serialized before ReZero was, but ReZero got the anime first.
Got it.
And
Okay.
that is really unfortunate because this fucking show is told in the way of a verbal diary. And it goes day by day by day. Where it's just like day 1, you're born. 2 minutes pass and like a certain event happens. Day over. Day 2. And it's just so repetitive. And it's so
I see.
boring. I fucking hated it, dog. And it was
Dude,
don't get me wrong, it was a novel idea for the first 2 episodes, but I was just put to sleep by episode 3 and 4. I was pissed. There's probably gonna be a second season because it's gonna be like rage bait or something, or it's so bad it somehow turns good, Velma kind of levels.
Velma was not good.
Everyone knows that. But that's probably why it's gonna get a season 2.
Velma also wasn't so bad it was good. Velma was just in bad.
Yeah, that's also very true. But I mean, if it doesn't get better, then Monster is gonna reach those kinds of levels, in my honest opinion.
Fair enough.
And I guess that's what separates. I know it's gonna be a crazy comparison, but this is what separates Monster from Inukai, believe it or not. Because I read the fucking manga, and I wanted to kill myself after reading the entire thing. But there were some parts where it was actually good, and it was still.
No.
No, I know it sounds stupid, but there were very few parts that were good. That were kind of good. That were kind of good. But the last chapter, the last fucking chapter, the last chapter, the last fucking chapter, dog.
Yeah, but did you not expect something bad for the last chapter anyway? It was the last chapter.
I thought it was gonna end on a wholesome note.
After what's happened, you thought it was gonna end on a wholesome note.
In my defense, it said chapter 65 was the last chapter. That was until there was chapter 65.5. That was the real last chapter.
Right.
You can't tell me that you expected the manga to end on a half chapter.
Fair enough, yeah.
God, I hate that fucking show so much. I hate the manga too, but at least it had good parts somewhere, some way, somehow. But oh my god, I hated it so much. You know, on rewatch, I'm gonna have to re-rate Monster because I might rate it lower than Inukai.
Dude, where are you finding time to rewatch? What the fuck?
That's a good question. And I might never do that. I might never do that. Maybe 30, 40 years down the line when I'm like semi-retired off my millions and millions of dollars. But who knows? I mean, for now, I'm definitely never gonna do that. No, absolutely not.
It's not worth. Some shows just aren't worth rewatching.
And the one other show that hold on, I gotta go back to AniChart. I'm sorry. I kind of okay. I don't hate this show, but I'm sad about the ending. This was Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night.
Oh, yeah, I read about that.
The only thing that I'll say is the first 9 episodes were complete 10 out of 10. Without a shadow of a doubt. I had that as my anime of the season up until that point. It was that good. It really, really was. And I still recommend it to people who haven't watched it. But the last 3 episodes were just such a... I don't want to say train wreck, because it kind of was resolved in the end, but it just left some very sour notes to really think about. But
yeah,
overall, it's still a very, very good show drama-wise. I loved it. I really did.
Okay. Yeah, I need to catch up on that.
But it just basically turned all the drama that it was building up into, like, kind of a mess more than anything. And it sucks. But now this is where I want to get into the surprises of spring. And then we can talk about summer.
Surprises of spring.
Yeah, and then we could go into summer. But the first one that I want to highlight is Grandpa and Grandma Turn Young Again. Have you seen that show?
Yeah, I watched a couple episodes. It wasn't really my cup of tea.
I thought it wasn't going to be my cup of tea either, because all it was just a slice of life that basically just followed 2 old people feeling young again. And everyone likes a good wholesome slice of life comfort show. This was, in all sense and purposes, a comfort show. That was until the last episode. That was until the last episode, Sumage.
Oh, okay.
I cried. I'm not even kidding. I cried.
Oh, okay, really?
Yeah. It was I'm getting distracted by chat right now, but
2 boomers.
God damn it, don't acknowledge them. But it may be 2 boomers hanging out the anime, but the last episode really hit me in the feels. I don't know if you're ever gonna watch the rest of it, but
fair enough.
I will say that the ending made me call my mom and dad and tell them how much I love them. It really is that adorable. It's so fucking sweet. And you know what? Spoiler warning. I'm gonna go into it. In the last episode,
yeah,
the first half of it really is just straight slice of life, still enjoying themselves. But now they know that they're on a time limit. And while they're still hanging out with the family, while they're still hanging out with, doing with each other, doing day-to-day activities, this anime just excels in the trope where, like, you know how much time you have left, go do something with it. And the fucking ending, where they're taking that last walk in the orchard that they grew up with, just...
Right.
When you have characters that you want to follow meet their natural end, it is heart-wrenching, to say the least.
Oh.
It is so sweet. I wanted them to be a part of my family. That's how much I loved the ending. Go watch that show. You're gonna know the importance of family.
Yeah. And not the way Vin Diesel does.
Yeah, the other highlight that I wanted to say from spring is the spiritual successor to Bocchi the Rock, and that's Girls Band Cry. Like, you might have seen me on my Twitter.
Hold up. Hold the phone.
I am holding.
Bocchi the Rock is like 2 years old.
And?
You can't call that a spiritual successor.
Yes, you fucking can, you liar.
You can't.
Yes, you can.
You can't. It's... Even though, has season 2 been announced? don't think so. But
Listen,
the show has to have ended before you can call it a spiritual successor. Just like K-On!
In my defense, Bocchi the Rock currently has 2 recap movies coming out. And when they have recap movies coming out, there's bound to be an announcement soon about a season 2.
Exactly. You're getting more seasons. It's not ended yet.
Yeah, and like I think the manga's up to like 60 something chapters now, if I'm correct. But that's not gonna stop me from calling Girls Band Cry, like, I don't want to say everything that Bocchi the Rock could have been, but it sure as hell follows the vibe, the music aspect, and the intention, I want to say. Because the 2 main characters, they're flawed as hell. And
sure,
those flaws are what makes them absolutely endearing. And how they come to know their bandmates, sure, it's different. But it's also unique in the way that, like, it makes you want to follow them and their journey to becoming a bigger band.
Yeah, definitely.
Their chemistry with one another is top tier. Both shows, I should say. And even though...
That's how you write a good show.
I know. Even though I don't have Girls Band Cry as a perfect 10 out of 10, its drama aspect is a 10 out of 10. Music is a 10 out of 10. And its chemistry, 10 out of 10. It's like... I don't know what else I can say about it that I haven't already said before. Number 1 in my videos, exclamation mark anime for the Twitch viewers. But this really has done so much to become my anime of the season, let alone with the late sprint that it had, especially with the visual direction in episode 11. I'm just gonna say it. Go watch episode 11 for the concert alone.
It's really good.
For the concert alone, watch episode 11.
Wouldn't that make them contenders and not one being a spiritual successor of the other?
I mean, both things can be true.
Yeah, but neither has ended yet. So
I think.
Succeed.
Okay, so with Girls Band Cry, I kind of think that it did end because it's an anime original.
Yeah, I guess so. Don't.
And the fact that it was not promoted at all outside of Japan only makes it more impressive that it got the recognition that it has with its Blu-ray sales, and the Twitter fan art is just crazy. Also, right. Can I just say, the way that Girls Band Cry does Yuri bait is so much better than Bocchi the Rock. I have to say it. I know for a fact that I can smell Yuri when it's there. And I know that I got baited with Girls Band Cry, but that was the only time I've ever been baited that I thought it was going to be a thing in Girls Band Cry.
And then it wasn't.
It wasn't, but I knew the intention of the show, of what it was trying to communicate. Right. But I was so caught off guard that I actually took the bait there. And I still have like a headcanon that like the two of the main characters are, you know, kind of like in love and stuff. I love that Nina Momoka dynamic just a little bit too much, more than the average person.
Stop, guys. Just don't let them cook.
That's kind of that's part of the reason why I kind of want to be like a drawing artist. Only because I want to, number one, I want to learn how to draw pretty anime ladies, and number two, I want to fucking start drawing Yuri stuff like that, because women are fucking beautiful. Women are pretty. when they are involved in Yuri, they are even more beautiful. I'm just a lover of women.
On God.
On God. And that reason is probably the reason why I can appreciate a man for what he looks like and what he is. But that just makes my love for women all the more prevalent. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I completely get you.
Okay, moving on to summer 2024. What are your shows that you want to watch? What are your shows to look out for?
Scroll over.
Yeah, go ahead, scroll over.
Obviously in the top like 5. I'm not caught up on Tower of Gods. I watched the first episode of Isekai Suicide Squad. That was kind of that was a bit I did like Shikanoko Noko Koshi Tantan.
See, now that's that Gen Alpha brain rot that I'm okay with.
That's a good show. That's we're talking about spiritual successors before. That's a spiritual successor to Nichijou.
Okay, I have thoughts about that. So, it's not formatted in the same way where it's just like skits and stuff.
No.
But I completely get where you're coming from there. It has
the randomness is there.
The randomness is there.
Also there.
I hate you so much.
They're both about high school girls. There's deer in both of them. They're both random. You're like watching the same show here.
Okay, so I actually agreed with you at first. That is the spiritual successor to Nichijou. However, the more that I think about it, the real spiritual successor to Nichijou is Pop Team Epic. More than anything.
Right.
Forget the art style. It's just the way that it's formatted. But
sure.
How those two are similar is you hit the nail right on the head. It's the randomness aspect. It's the possible references to Pop Team Epic. Because in the fucking OP there's a fucking, is it GTA reference or is it a Dark Souls reference?
I've not watched the OP.
You haven't watched the OP? Oh my god. Oh, come on.
I watch it. I'm not gonna like study it. What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? Dog, I'm out here watching 40 fucking anime this season.
I'm here watching 1:30 of an OP once, and you're out here watching it.
You're telling me
5 times over to study every single frame.
You're telling me that's not something you would catch on your first try? The fucking Dark Souls reference, dog?
No.
Oh my god. Cause I caught that on my first go around. Once I saw it, I paused it, went back 5 seconds, and I paused it on the frame. I lost my shit. I actually did. I've never even played a Dark Souls game or a Souls-like. I fucking lost my shit. That's how meta this anime is, like, well, I don't want to say meta. That's how, what was the fucking word for it? Pop cultural this anime is.
Pop cultural?
Cultural. Fuck it, we'll just call it cultural.
Yeah.
I'm trying my fucking hardest out here when this shit's not scripted, but it really is just, oh my god. Oh, and every time the Elden Ring music pops on in that one fucking scene when the fucking deer chick goes into the classroom, the fucking walls break and start bashing people's skulls in. I fucking love that shit, dog. Have you not seen the first episode?
I have.
Okay, I was gonna say. And I think the second episode dropped as of the time of this recording, if I'm not mistaken.
Watch it now.
After this recording. Okay, so not yet, but I thought it was. But regardless of that, hang on, I gotta burp real quick. Oh, excuse me, I needed that. Oh, that. That anime has just been a fucking fever dream to say the least. But I also do want to see what the second episode is, like what it's gonna be like, because I'll be honest, I was kind of spoiled as to everything that kind of did happen in the first episode, all because of Twitter. And the episode hadn't even dropped yet. So I want to see what the first real episode that I've not really gone into is going to be like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I had that experience with the first episode because I managed to avoid it all.
I'm so jealous, dog. I don't know how you're able to do that with how much Shiko Noko Noko Koshtantan has been played all around the world at this point.
Dude, I managed to avoid it all. First time I heard the op.
Fucking op, he says.
First, the OP. I'm too Valorant coded. First time I watched the, first time I saw any footage.
You know, that's so valid. What other shows have you been, what other shows have you been, paying attention to?
Hold on. Notice how it says fantasy.
Stop. Oh my god. No fucking way. Oh my. Does that completely ruin my point then?
Is this the fantasy show of the century?
There's no fucking way, dog. I fucking can't, man. I didn't even notice that until now. Does that completely ruin all of my points?
I wouldn't class this as a fantasy, but maybe it's too grounded in reality.
Oh no.
Moving on. I'm watching the Stepsister one. Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail's back.
Oh,
I can get my weekly slop.
Go on.
It's gonna be my weekly slop for the next few seasons, I reckon.
Right.
It's been a while since we've had like a long-running anime that airs weekly.
Is One Piece the last of its kind then?
I want to say, yeah, One Piece might be the last of its kind. But now Fairy Tail's back, so...
It's honestly such a cash grab, though, in my opinion. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, the ending to Fairy Tail ended in a nice spot. Now they're picking up somewhere else. But actually, this was foreshadowed in like the first few episodes.
Right. Oh, fuck.
I dare say, go to level foreshadowing.
Is that a reference to something?
Because in One Piece, they have godlike foreshadowing.
Oh, yeah, with the whole Nika fruit or something.
Moving on. Pseudo Harem, Wistoria, I've watched. Skip a few. I've watched 2.5.
Okay, so I watched that one as well. Do you think this is a spiritual successor to My Dress Up Darling?
No.
No?
I can see the similarities, but I don't think it's gonna be as good. So no.
Okay, I believe you. Moving on.
Elusive Samurai.
Okay.
That was alright. I'm watching Shinmai Osan.
That's the I parry everything one, right?
No, this is the other one. This is the newbie adventurer trained to death.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, first episode was pretty good. Or like, it's kind of up my alley because I love OP main characters.
It's funny because he's also 32, like Kafka.
For real, yeah. It's like
I love older main characters.
It's like a fantasy kaiju.
I'm just gonna be upfront.
Kaiju number 8.
Okay, so it's funny. I did watch that one. I'm not gonna highlight it on when it's my turn to say what I like in this season, but he really reminds me of Helk.
Helk, I didn't watch Helk.
It's like big, burly, supermodel kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Like JoJo-esque body.
Yeah, JoJo-esque, older protag, and kind of similar personality, more than anything.
Sure. Yeah.
But keep going with.
Keeping on going. I've seen a VTuber one, and Nanare Hananare. The parkour one. Or I think.
Is it parkour or is it cheerleading?
I mean, it started off cheerleading, but then the first episode ended with like parkour and stuff. So I'm gonna say the parkour one, and then the twins. I watched that one earlier, right before we started.
Okay, so I'm not the only one that did that as well. Okay, is that about it, or did you watch more?
That was all I've managed to catch since the start of the season.
So my turn. Sorry, I have a meme in my head with it's my turn. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. It's by Skip Bayless. But instead of highlighting all the ones that I do like, because otherwise we'd be here forever, I'm just gonna quickly gloss over some of the best ones in my opinion, and then I'm really gonna dive into the surprises of this season. Sure. Yeah. I currently love Oshinoko.
As we all do.
I currently love, I want to say, I'm so sorry. I thought, so it looks like Oshinoko is the only one that I currently love, but
sure.
Every single other show, surprisingly, has the minimum entertainment value needed for me to keep watching. Every single show that I've watched, I could tell you all the shows on the palm of my hand, or I can name all the shows on my fingers from the ones that I haven't watched, and that is Fairy Tail, because I haven't seen first season technically. This one called Kimito Boku no Saigo no Senjo. It's like right below Wistoria on AniChart. I haven't seen that one because it's a second season. Basically any second season you can think of. Nier Automata, I haven't seen.
Fair enough.
That's 3. Megami no Cafe Terrace. That's
another
4.
Sequel, isn't it?
Yeah, that's another sequel. I didn't really go ahead and watch the first season at all. And then Sengoku Yoko. I haven't seen that one, and they're about to start airing the second and third core.
Right.
But every other one I have watched, and this is where I'm gonna dive into the surprises now. I'm not gonna mention Shikanoko because that's already been talked about to death. That's been talked about. Yeah, to death I should say.
I mean, if you're not like me and manage to avoid it, then you know all about it.
I don't know how I still don't know how. But the first one I want to get into is The Elusive Samurai.
Right, yeah.
Because number one, I really think that its art style might be better than Oshinoko. I am so in love with the way these characters look, their design. It's just so aesthetically pleasing.
Also, Cloverworks can cook.
Cloverworks can and has cooked. That doesn't take away, their misses with, The Promised Neverland and and other shows of that variety.
What season 2?
I'm sorry, there was a season 2? Anyways, but nevertheless, I've only watched one episode so far because that's all that dropped at the time of this recording. And
exactly, yeah.
I love the plot. I love the twist. I love currently most things about it. And I say most with an emphasis because there always has to be this one creepy guy that always has to be part of the squad. That might go for, future problems and stuff, but other than that, this show has been amazing to me.
Do you know what's missing from the first episode, I think, is the emotion. Like, this guy is just, well, okay, spoilers, but after going through what he's gone through, surely you'd be a little bit emotional?
Maybe, but you gotta remember, the kid's still 10 years old.
Well, he's 8.
8 or 10?
He's 8, and then in 2 years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's only 8 years old, so
Do you not think he would still be a little bit tiny? You'd shed a tear or two?
I mean, I'm thinking because everything happened at once, probably
Right.
you probably couldn't process everything at that point. But I think it's gonna be like somewhere along the lines of it's gonna hit him later on in the season, like really hard.
That's the emotional payoff I'm invested in.
That's what I want to see as well.
That's what I want to see, a young boy cry.
Moving on to my second surprise, it's the VTuber anime. VTuber Nandan ga haishin kiri wasuretara densetsu ni nateta. AKA, I want to see if I can try to get this right. VTuber legend, how I went viral after forgetting to turn off my stream.
It's exactly how the title says.
Yeah, to all of the YouTube viewers, watching me and imagining how unhinged I can get is exactly what you're gonna get when you watch this show. Because
The main character is...
the main character, I'm gonna say it, is a fucking gooner.
She is. She said it herself.
She literally said it in the show. For whoever is watching,
That line was crazy.
can you just try? Because I don't know if I can do it justice. Can you try to explain the fucking build up to that point? Because I know I'm putting it on you, but I'm just gonna stutter every single sentence. Please, if you can, try. And I'll try to fill in wherever you can.
Can I say, like, she's trying to be Moe on her streams. But off her streams, she's a complete degenerate like us.
Like us! Just like us!
Just like us, for real. And I guess, yeah, the synopsis is one day she forgets to end stream, as we've all done before. And forgets to...
I've had that moment before once.
Forgets to mute her microphone as well, so everything she's been saying, all the unhinged shit she's been saying, is being picked up on by all her loyal fans and new fans that started to watch her stream. And then at one point, she starts watching one of her gen mate streams.
Think of Hololive, but I want to say with Amelia Watson and Gargura. I don't know if that's an apt comparison.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an okay, go on.
Well, maybe. I guess so. Yeah. Are you thinking Ame is the degenerate one?
Yes.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you know all the unhinged stuff Ame says. Anyway, she starts gooning. What can I say? Live on stream.
What was that thing about dirty talking about kinks and stuff? Something along the lines of, who wouldn't want to goon to this stream? So I think she said something along the lines of that.
Something along those lines. Yeah.
I actually lost my shit. This is currently in the standings. This is funnier than Shikanoko. I'm gonna say it because it was just so unexpected. The shock value is there.
That was wild.
I'm so excited to see where this leads because this is an automatic must watch for me. Like, only because it's just so relatable and in more ways than one. And I think it's just gonna give me more insight as to how managers and VTubers, you know, coalesce and communicate. And fuck me, I need a manager myself. Anybody want to be my manager? Hit me up, okay? That'd be great. That'd be awesome. But I want to say my last surprise has been I want to say, you know.
Yeah.
It's Wistoria. It's Wistoria.
Wistoria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was blown away by the animation. I really was. I was not expecting. I was not expecting the first episode to go that hard, plot-wise, animation-wise. Are there still character developments that need to be made? Absolutely. It's just the first episode, but the animation alone is that of Demon Slayer or Mappa. It is that top tier.
It's pretty clean.
Forget clean. It's spiffy. It's so spiffy.
Spiffy.
Like, you'd be able to run your finger on a table and you wouldn't see any dust. That's how spiffy it is. But, like, it really is just like an attention grabber when someone's getting bullied and in that same episode gets humbled because of what the victim can do. Like the fucking, the underdog. Like, that's a good way to tell an underdog story in one episode.
That's also what happens in the guy who was trained by the strongest pie. But in that case, I don't think he's an underdog.
He's not. No, he just believes he is because of the fucking rank system that show has. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I thought. And, like, some of the other shows that I haven't mentioned yet, but I still think are pretty good is, like you said, the stepsister one. I love the character dynamics there. I love it. I love it. And, I don't know what it is about this season, but there are so many Giga Chad MCs. Like, they know how to talk to people. They're not always flustered. Like, I'm tripping over my words again, but it's like there's so many male main characters that I can actually follow because they're not a shy, bumbling mess. Unlike the show Shy, that's also airing this season 2.
Isn't that like a season 2?
I watched the first season. I was really underwhelmed by it, but I have to keep going just so I can, for research purposes.
You've been hooked.
I'm not hooked. I'm not hooked. I can guarantee you.
You've been trapped.
God, I hate when you use that word, but yeah, that's actually kind of true. But I don't know what it is about the shows like this that make me want to watch it, but it's probably just like the cover art alone. But I hate the main character. I really do. I really do. But I can't go any further than that, only because that rant would actually take 20 minutes, and I've kind of already been a little redundant on it. That being said, I think this would be a good point to end the episode for today.
Yeah.
Since there's not really much else going on, but
I did like the twins episode 1.
I did too.
I think it's got a good potential of good drama potential.
Yeah, before we end this episode today, I will mention that though. I love that it actually is in the point of view of both twins rather than the male MC.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
but
that's what we need.
And I agree. But I'm gonna say it again and again. I fucking hate pixie cuts. I really do.
You're not a fan?
I hate pixie cuts. They're my least favorite hairstyle I have ever seen. Because it reminds me of too much of the bowl cut that I once had when I was a kid.
Fair enough then. Can you imagine quintuplets told from the perspective of the quintuplets?
Oh god.
That'd be like it would be 5 times as long.
I mean, at this point, with the way that the fucking movies are going, like with the OVAs, the movie, the specials, where it came up with more manga content.
Oh shit! Yeah, it's ended for me.
It's ended.
I'm not.
It's basically Evangelion in that regard to me.
Quintuplets 3.0 plus 1.0.
All right, I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you guys so much for coming into the episode live recording if you're a Twitch viewer, and thank you to all the YouTube viewers that made it up to this point. I appreciate every single one of you. We're gonna try and keep to our schedule again after 2 weeks or something, and then we're going to be releasing the episode that following Saturday. I keep burping, but I mean it's it's the only way I can get relief nowadays. I think I'm lactose intolerant, by the way.
Get off the cheese.
I can't. It's too good. Anyways, if you were okay, I'm not gonna mention the part from before, but if you have not followed the channel, it's twitch.tv/IndicoKuma. Sumage, you basically never stream, so I'm not gonna.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. But if you do want to go follow him as well, it's twitch.tv/Sumage_. And there's gonna be. I'm also gonna have my other channels in the description as well. I have a main channel where I do stream highlights and clips, and I have an anime channel where I talk about nothing but anime content. I just released the tier list to spring 2024, and so go check out that video if you want. I recommend it, and nothing's forced, by the way, but I really do hope so. So you can support the channel and help support me in my endeavors to become like just one of the VTubers of all time. But that being said, we're gonna end it here. Sumage, do you have any last words for our lovely audience today?
Thank you for tuning in to episode 1. See you for episode 2.
All right, everybody wave bye. Bye, everyone. Bye, Sumage. Bye, Chad. Bye everybody else.
Bye, IndicoKuma.
Bye, Sumage.